She said it the way someone announces a scheduling conflict. "I'm with someone else tonight." We were standing under the yellowed light outside the building, the kind that flattens faces and makes everything look more temporary than it is. Her tone wasn't cruel. It wasn't careful either, just factual, as if the evening had simply moved on without consulting me. For a second, my body reached for its old reflexes, the slight forward lean, the urge to clarify, to ask a question that might reopen a door. I felt it rise, familiar and embarrassing, like muscle memory from a version of myself I'd quietly outgrown. Then it stopped, not because I forced it to, because there was nothing left to push with. I nodded once, not dramatically, not as a performance, just enough to acknowledge that I'd heard her, that the sentence had landed, that it didn't need help finding its place. "Oh," I said, and even that felt optional. The silence that followed wasn't sharp. It was dense, the kind that makes people adjust their weight, glance away, wait for the other person to fill it. I didn't. I let it sit between us, unadorned. Her eyes searched my face for something, confusion maybe, or disappointment. I'd seen that look before. It usually came when someone expected resistance and met neutrality instead. I realized, standing there, that I wasn't angry. I wasn't hurt in the way I used to be. There was a smaller sensation instead. A tightening, but clean. Like choosing not to reopen a wound you finally learned how to dress properly. In the past, this moment would have turned into negotiation. A joke. A half-serious comment about timing. I would have tried to stay relevant, to prove flexibility, to show I could be understanding in a way that kept me close enough to be reconsidered. But something had shifted earlier that week. Not dramatically. No speech, no revelation. Just a quiet accumulation of moments where I noticed how often I was the one, adjusting, waiting, filling gaps that weren't mine. I stepped back, not physically at first, but emotionally. I felt it happen like a door closing without sound. "That's fine," I said, and this time the words were accurate. Her expression changed, not to guilt, to recalibration. She straightened slightly as if reassessing the situation, as if the script had skipped a line she was supposed to respond to. We might have stayed there longer if the door behind us hadn't opened. My supervisor stepped out, phone in hand, eyes already scanning for me. The shift was immediate. The personal air thinned into something more official. "Hey," he said, nodding at both of us. "We need you inside. Schedule change." I caught the implication before he finished. I'd been waiting on confirmation for weeks. A reassignment, a move that would pull me out of this building, this routine, this proximity. He didn't explain it there. He didn't need to. Authority has a way of compressing conversations, of ending chapters without ceremony. I said goodbye without saying goodbye. A polite nod. No promise to talk later. No softening phrase. Inside, the fluorescent lights buzzed. Papers were shuffled. A name was checked off. The change was confirmed, concrete and irreversible in a way feelings rarely are. When I walked back out, she was still there. Waiting, maybe, or just lingering out a habit. "So," she said, as if resuming something. I paused, not to think, to decide whether there was anything left to offer. "I won't be around much after this," I said. Not as leverage, just information, the same way she'd given hers. Her mouth opened slightly, then closed. She nodded, mirroring my earlier gesture. And for the first time that night, she seemed unsure what it meant. There was no satisfaction in that, no surge, just a strange calm edged with loss but not defined by it. I left before the moment could be reshaped into something else. Later, alone, the evening settled into its quieter truths. The absence of messages, the stillness of not waiting. It felt unfamiliar, almost wrong, like forgetting something important, until I realized the thing I'd stopped carrying was expectation. I didn't win anything that night. Nothing was taken from her. Nothing reclaimed with flair. But I kept something I used to hand over too easily. And for once, that was enough.